trusted with him. Because in Makkah, nothing was safe except in the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This was how the Quraysh, the enemies of Islam, they did not trust themselves, but they trusted Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Look at Abu Jahl, how he came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We don't call you a liar. You are al-Amin. But we cannot stand your message. Because you are teaching us, I and Bilal equal. I cannot stomach that. I cannot accept that. So you see, we are not. So Prophet ﷺ was recognized as Al-Amin, as Sadiq, and they trusted all of their valuables with him. And the Prophet ﷺ, before he goes away, he needs to return those trusts to the rightful owners. So he appointed Ali ibn Abi Talib for that. And also Ali was used, to sleep in the bed of the Prophet ﷺ, giving the impression. He did not simply say, I trust in Allah. Just like some people say when we are in the path, you don't need to fix your brake, you don't need to check the oil, you don't need to put gas, because Allah will take care of it. No. This is not the method of Islam. This is not the method of the Prophet ﷺ. Carry your camel first, and then you have a right to trust in Allah, to call upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us all these resources, we have to use our faculties, our mind. La aqla kat-tadbir. There is no intelligence greater than planning. Many people think that it's IQ that gives a person success. Not so. Studies after studies, so it is, you may have the best IQ in the world, but if you are not organized, if you don't plan well, you may not succeed. People who plan with a little IQ, lesser IQ, they succeed because they have a strategy, they have a plan, and that's why Rasulullah said, La aqla kat-tadbir. There is no intelligence greater than planning. And the Prophet ﷺ, I don't have time to go all of these things. Now this is one thing, planning everything, including he chose the best guide. And the best guide was not a Muslim. Question arises to muftis, post muftis, how far we can go to trust on the experts who are not Muslims. Of course, Rasulullah ﷺ, lot of examples in the life of the Prophet ﷺ, yes. If the non-Muslim is a trustworthy person, you can. So they counted. Even though, ordinary people say he's a non-Muslim, he cannot trust because he can fraud, he can get money and then cheat. Not so the Prophet ﷺ, because in Islam we trust everybody unless proven guilty. It's not just confined to Muslims. You trust everybody until you can prove otherwise. So that's why Rasulullah had even recruited this expert guide, tracker in the desert, because unless you know, and the Prophet has sallallahu alaihi wasallam to avoid routes that where they will look for you. So he need to find a route where it is least likely to be, detected or discerned, found out by the mushrikeen, because there is a bounty on his head, big. So horsemen are, going everywhere looking for Rasulullah. Another thing is the role of women in the hijrah. This itself is a topic for a number of khutbahs. We need to know that the role of women in the early history of Islam, Muslims need to recognize that. Because unless this ummah restores women to the proper place of dignity and respect they belong to in Islam, there is no way for our community to move forward. You don't have a history of Islam unless you learn it from the narrative of women. Who gave us the early history of Islam? It was reported by Aisha, because she learned it from the mouth of the Prophet. Early beginning of the revelation, and where we learn the hijrah to Abyssinia and the hijrah to Medina, the details of it from Aisha, Salama. So brothers, We need to change this. We think that women need not be equal partners and in the Islamic work, this is wrong. And they were in the forefront in the history of Islam, and it was a woman who gave her life first. First Shaheed. Shaheeda in Islam was the mother of Ammar bin Yasir. So this is another point. But the third point I want to make is, so in Makkah, Islam was a private affair. But in Medina, it becomes a vision transforming the society, implementing those great ideals of brotherhood and social solidarity and breaking these barriers that divide human beings. Today, the world needs to listen to this message of oneness of human family. And who is there projected other than Muslims? Because Islam is the religion that proclaims most beautifully, brothers. It's not a murky water. Of course, the concept is there in the Old Testament and New Testament, in Buddhism, in Hindu scriptures, but it has been diluted. But Islamic, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this final edition of the message, the revelation, in order to bring back that Christian message that humanity is one. So we need to unify humanity in this time of wars based on race, ethnicity, and nation. Muslims have the formula to unite humanity, but first of all, we need to understand and invite that. As Imam Shawariullah said it, a person who is praying, standing shoulder to shoulder in the masjid repeatedly, he cannot be a racist unless he did not pray properly. How can you harbor this racist mindset that I am superior because I am this, I am an Arab, or I am a Parsi, I am a Gujarati, or I am a Sindhi, or whatever, Saudi, Egyptian, or Palestinian? No. Kullukum min Adam wa Adamu min Turab. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam broke these barriers, separating race from race, ethnicity from ethnicity, and people distinction based on color and family status. So the message of Islam, the vision of Islam implemented in Medina was based on mu'akhat, brotherhood, not based on race. You know, when Rasulullah sent Mu'adh bin Jabal to Yemen as a qali, as a leader, as a teacher of Islam, he bade with farewell and told him, Mu'adh, remember, Inna awla an-nasi bi al-muttaqun aynama kanu wa haythuma kanu. You should know the people closest to me are the muttaqeen, those who are conscious of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wherever they come from, whatever race they belong to. And have said that, he said, you know, these people who are related to me in blood, yes, I owe to help them out, but that doesn't mean they are closer to me. Closest to me are those who are muttaqin. If they are muttaqin, they are closer. But if they are not, the muttaqin are the closest. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَاصْبِرْ نَفْسَكَ مَعَ الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ رَبَّهُمْ بِالْغَدَاةِ وَالْعَشِيِّ يُرِيدُونَ وَجْهَهُ. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wanted to take this message to the chiefs, the rich and famous of the Quraysh. And in the process of doing so, it seemed that he was ignoring people like Bilal and Salman and Suhaib and Ammar and Ibn Masud, who belonged to the lower strata of the Meccan society or Medinian society. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered him, no, be a virtual prisoner with these people. Focus on them. Because if they don't need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah doesn't need them. But these people, they need Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are looking towards Allah. So be with them. Spend more time with them to train them, because they are valuable in the sight of Allah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, when Ibn Masud radiallahu anhu was climbing a tree, And his tender leg was exposed. It was so tender, like a pencil or stick, toothstick. And some of the Sahaba burst into laughter. And the Prophet ﷺ said, "What are you laughing at? You know that leg is more weighty in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than the mountain of Uhud." You see, so the value of Allah, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَنْظُرُ إِلَى صُوَرِكُمْ وَأَجْسَامِكُمْ وَلَكِنْ يَنْظُرُ إِلَى قُلُوبِكُمْ وَأَعْمَالِكُمْ. Allah does not look at the status, the color of your skin, or your appearance, what car you drive, what clothes you wear. No, He looks at your heart and your performance, your action. So the brotherhood was established in letter and spirit between the Muhajirin and Ansar, all segments of the Muslim believers. So you have this beautiful story, وَالَّذِينَ تَبَوُّوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ تَبَوَّوا الدَّارَ وَالْإِيمَانَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ. Those who are already settled in Medina, referring to Ansar, and attain faith, believe, cherish faith, cherishing faith, يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ. They love those who are affiliated to them. The Prophet ﷺ, they came, Ansar came. This Ansar, the Muhajirin, I came here for my higher study. Many of you came maybe for business or what. Many came for study. We didn't come here like the Meccans, the believers from Mecca migrated to Medina. They went there solely. They were not going to the land of opportunities. They had thriving business, they had property, they have houses, they have mansions, some of them in Mecca. They left all of it, took nothing with them, empty, barehanded, they went to Medina. Medina is not a prosperous land. You have to struggle for a life there. So Rasulullah, look at the leadership quality of Rasulullah. This mu'ahad, institution of brotherhood. So you are to share. يُحِبُّونَ مَنْ هَاجَرَ إِلَيْهِمْ وَيُؤْثِرُونَ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ وَلَوْ كَانَ بِهِمْ خَصَاصَةٌ. They are willing to sacrifice everything for their brothers who have emigrated. So much so that Ansar come to Rasulullah ﷺ. You see, we have this, the property is this farm, it's a farming, city, mostly farm. So they said, okay, let us share it, split it, half and half. Ansar came and proposed to Rasulullah ﷺ. This Muhajirin, they are not farmers. They will not do a good job. So the Prophet said, no, we will work with you and let us share the profit. Split. Because we will work, but you know better, you are experts in it. So under your supervision, we will help. This was the formula accepted, and you have beautiful stories. Abdurrahman ibn Auf, Sa'd ibn Rabi', they are joined in brotherhood. Sa'd says to Abdurrahman ibn Auf, radiyallahu anhuma, I have this house, I want to split it half between both of us. And all my property, half and half. And I have two wives. If she agrees and you agree, I can divorce one and you can marry. Abdurrahman ibn Auf said, keep your family, keep your house, keep your property, tell me where the market is. Look at this. Because Meccans, they are businessmen. They know. And Abdurrahman ibn Auf, he used to say, I implemented the insights from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So when I lift a stone, I see gold underneath. One of the formula of the Prophet is that applicable to me, to you. Whatever work you do, Allahumma barik li ummati fi bukuriha. Ya Allah, bless my ummah when they set out to do their work early morning. As a student in Medina University in those days, our studies will start after Fajr. And this was the method of the ulama, imams before. Now what happens in much of the communities is we sleep until lower time and then wake up all night drinking coffee, and of course we study also in the university system. This is what the students do. That's not the Islamic method. So people like Abdurrahman bin Auf, others follow the insight and the recommendations of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, believed that when you put forth the best of your effort and turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will give you success. Brothers, I experience it every time I drive here, brothers. I want to tell you, the greatest, fear for me while driving here is parking space. I set out with this prayer of Musa radiallahu anhu alayhi salam. Rabbi inni lima anzalta ilayya min khairin faqir. Every time I started from my home with that prayer, I come here. It's all full, but I wait 2 minutes. Somebody drives out and I can just take my car in. This is my experience every single Friday I came here. I believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I believe in the promise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So believe and do your best. Allah will be with us, inshallah. So the mu'akhat, ayna al-mutahabuna bi jamali bi jalali. Al-yawma wudilluhum yawma la dhilla illa fi dhilli. Today Muslims need to establish this ukhuwah that the Prophet established. We need to break these barriers dividing us from each other. We have been praying in the Saf so many years. How can you have that racist mindset, distinction, discrimination against fellow human beings or Muslims? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to forge this unity. وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا. Hold fast together to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and do not divide among yourself, because when we do so, if Muslims were to stand up today, all of the Muslim countries, Muslims as a ummah, we have to stand up. Enough is enough. We don't want this treatment of Rohingya or other people persecuted in various parts of the world. If we say enough is enough, one voice, they will not, the situation will be different. I believe in that. Because when we break the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will break us, and this is what's happening in all of our countries, destroyed because this unity and dissension. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us to come back to the real message of Islam and learn the lessons from Hijrah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. الحمد لله الذي هدانا إلى دين الإسلام وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. There are a number of people who have passed away in this community and elsewhere. Let us pray for all of them. اللهم اغفر للمؤمنين والمؤمنات والمسلمين والمسلمات الأحياء منهم والأموات. Let us also pray for those who are sick and suffering. اللهم رب الناس أذهب الباس اشفي أنت الشافي اشفي أنت الشافي اشفي أنت الشافي. اللهم اشفهم شفاء تاما لا يغادر سقما. اللهم انصر المستضعفين في كل مكان. اللهم انصرهم في برك وبحرك يا ارحم الراحمين. ربنا لا تدع لنا ذنبا الا غفرته ولا هما الا فرجته ولا دينا الا قضيته ولا مريضا الا شفيته ولا ميتا الا رحمته ولا حاجة تريد الا قضيتها يا ارحم الراحمين. Please accommodate the brothers as much as possible. Please let them come forward.